You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe and check out the playlist.
I grew up hearing gunshots in the late night. Ghetto bird, police sirens as a mother cries. Just another victim of the Soundbrown genocide. Locals posted, locked and loaded, ready to take lives. And when they heard the chief late, they would duck up out of sight. Like your car when the sundown, it was mission time. You had to stay alert, cause bullets always travel blind. We stayed posted, we stayed drinking, and we getting high. Marchando down the enemy's neighborhood as we ride. Put the hood, put the glica sample, fuck their side. No regrets, but the truth is no peace of mind.
G-File.
Alright, starting off right here in Linwood, you have the Linwood Varrio Dukes gang. Now, the Linwood Varrio Dukes gang is a pretty large neighborhood. It's not the oldest, been around since the 80s, but it is one of the largest. It's one of the ones that you definitely hear about. Their neighborhood is close to Linwood Plaza, in those areas, you know what I mean? You can find them what's between California Avenue and State Street. So everything that's in the middle was considered their neighborhood, like by Elizabeth, by Virginia, by Cherokee, by Michigan Avenue, by all that, by those back ends, it was considered the Linwood Barrio Dukes gangs neighborhood. Now, the Linwood Barrio Dukes originally was the Linwood Barrio 13, Linwood 13. Then they just added and changed it to Linwood Dukes. You feel me? But it is, the same neighborhood. And you definitely see them up, homie. They definitely get on a crack. And I have a few homies from Linwood Dukes, and they definitely get it popping, homie. Be representing right there for their barrio, you know what I mean? These guys, are with the business, homie, and they be doing their thing right there, you know what I mean? Going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right there, because like I said, homie, they should be popping. And, this neighborhood ain't no chubs, ain't no pushovers, you know what I mean? You come over here tripping, homie, they gonna lay it down, you know what I mean? Especially with all the, also all the, like, the crib sets, blood sets that be around there. Like I said, homie, that should just be popping, homie. Right here, Linwood's definitely a city that you gotta be on your toes, you gotta be through, homie, because, shit be popping off, you know what I mean? And, the Dukes, be in the mix, homie. Like I said, they're one of the more larger Linwood sets, homie, you know what I'm saying? This neighborhood definitely, they have the writers on me. You know what I mean? They have their gente. You know, one of the top neighborhoods right here in Linwood. But yeah, that's what's up with the Linwood Dukes gang right there, representing it and putting their barrio up on the map. You feel me? But that's what's up with the Linwood Dukes. And also right here in Linwood, you have Barrio Linwood Paragons. Now, Barrio Linwood Paragons is one of the oldest neighborhoods right here in Linwood, dating back to the 70s. So it's one of the pretty old school neighborhoods out of the city of Linwood. Um, one of the original neighborhoods out over here. Now, their neighborhood, you can find them located to where it's Peach Street. So Peach Street by Linwood Road, by Lewis Street, Flower Street, Josephine Street, Nevada. Through those back ends is where you find the Linwood Barrio Paragons. That's their territory. So it's a pretty decent sized chunk of territory. You feel me? But it be cracking right there, homie. There's a lot of activity because not only Hispanic gangs, people have to keep in mind that there's also a lot of crib neighborhoods, blood neighborhoods. You know what I mean? So should be cracking, homie. It's so jam packed full of so many different hoods, not just Hispanic, but African American as well. And so should be cracking, homie. It's definitely no joke right here, homie. And that's what I be telling people, that Linwood's a city, homie, that definitely be cracking, homie. That you gotta stay on your toes right here, homie. It's an area that's, full of a lot of conflict. Um, with all these different Linwood sets, and like I've said, they all claim the city of Linwood, but they're all different gangs. And but yeah, that's what's up with the Linwood Paragons right there, representing and putting their right on the map. Now, another neighborhood that you have right here in Linwood, which is a more smaller neighborhood, is the Linwood Varrio Sad Boys. Now, Linwood Varrio Sad Boys, or SBS, not to be confused with Centennial Boys or nothing like that. They are a small neighborhood right here in Linwood that was established right here, late 80s, early 90s. It was always roughly a small neighborhood right there, by the Mexican Plaza. But the Linwood Varrio Sad Boys, nonetheless, homie, was a neighborhood, was established. They do have their riders and members, so occasionally you'll still catch a floater, from that neighborhood, or you'll see it up. You know what I mean? But yeah, they were a real neighborhood and they were really doing things. You know what I mean? But with time, all the neighborhoods that just started like popping out from everywhere. You know what I mean? Makes recruitment a lot harder. Um, but nonetheless, that's who they are right there, the Linwood Varrio Sad Boys. Also, right here in the city of Linwood, you have the Linwood Varrio Compitas. Now, the Linwood Varrio Compitas, it's a pretty large neighborhood. You know what I mean? You definitely see them up. You definitely hear the activity by these guys. You can find them located where it's Arlington Avenue by Alonda Street, Gibson, by Cardwell Street, Caroline Avenue. Through those ends. So it was from Atlantic Avenue to to the I think it's Wright Road, South Wright Road. So from Atlantic to Wright Road is what's considered what's in the middle is considered the Barrio Compitas neighborhood, which is a pretty decent sized chunk of territory. You know what I mean? And like I said, those areas are jam packed full of neighborhoods, so it does be cracking right there, homie. Like you definitely gotta be on your toes. But the Barrio Compitas seem to have everything on lockdown right there. They do have numbers, you know what I mean? It's a neighborhood that you definitely do hear about. They be doing their thing, homie. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what's up with the Barrio Linwood Compitas right there, representing for their barrio and definitely putting their neighborhood up on the map. Now, another neighborhood you have right here is the Linwood Varrio Mob. Now, Linwood Varrio Mob is the neighborhood that you definitely hear about, homie. These guys definitely keep it active. You know what I'm saying? You definitely see the activity and the hitters by these guys. Now, Linwood um, Mob, standing money over bitches, or just as a mob. You feel me? I seen it up either both ways. Um, Now, how Linwood has all these neighborhoods, they beef it with each other. They just all claim the same city, you know what I mean? Kind of like Compton, Pacoima, and those areas. But they do have allies. Is one said that does have some allies because it seems like them and the Linwood Rude Boys seem to have a pretty good relationship. You feel me? Now you can find the Linwood Varrio Mob. You can find them what's located right there where it's Linwood Road and um, Fire Street, uh, almost what's close to the by the intersection, the freeways. You know what I mean? Through those back ends, through that back end of Linwood Road is where you'll find the mob. You know what I mean? You see their activities and seem to be going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods over there. And but nonetheless, homie, Linwood Barrio Mob is an active neighborhood and one that you definitely hear about, and they be representing and gangbanging right there, homie. Keeping it active. Another neighborhood right here that you have is the Linwood Varrio Root Boys. Um, it's that set that I was talking about. They get along with Linwood Varrio Mob. Seems like they have a pretty good relationship, with the two clicas. Now the Root Boys is an active neighborhood right here in Linwood. And actually, you can find the Root Boys in several different locations in Los Angeles. It's one of these neighborhoods that has different spots. You feel me? And they get it active, homie. You definitely hear the activity by these guys. You know what I mean? They're one of the neighborhoods that gives law enforcement a hard time around here. So the Root Boys ain't want to be playing with, homie. They get on and cracking. Even though them and Linwood Barrio Mob, are not some of the most oldest neighborhoods in Linwood, because heard they were around since the 80s. Um, Nonetheless, homie, they keep it active. You know what I mean? Now you can find the Rude Boys neighborhood what's on California Avenue, by Los Flores, and Norton. Through those back ends. You know what I mean? Is where you'll find them established. And these guys ain't no joke, homie. They get it on and cracking, homie. So people come over here tripping. I'm telling you, homie, the Rude Boys, they gonna handle their business. You feel me? Going at it with all the surrounding neighborhoods right there and putting their barrio up on the map. Another neighborhood right here that you have is the Linwood Varrio Crazy Cats. Now, Linwood Varrio Crazy Cats is the same one as the one in South Central. They just have a different branch over here. At least that's what I was told. You feel me? So it's a lot older than what it seems. Right here in Linwood, they have only been established here since the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. It's when they established right here in Linwood. But in a whole, it's a lot more older. You feel me? But at least that's what I was told. You get what I mean? Now, the Linwood by the Crazy Cats is the one that you see LV and then the KK Z, or sometimes you see it in S. I seen it hit up either both ways. And you can find them, throughout the, where the Plaza Mexico's at. You see a lot of their activity right there. You know what I mean? Through those back streets. Um, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up with the Linwood Varrio Crazy Cats right there. It is a real neighborhood. It is a real thing. Because I do see, people trying to say that it isn't, but it is, homie. You know what I mean? You just, you hear the activity and you see their graffiti. You know what I mean? They be getting it popping, and yeah, homie, that's what's up with the Linwood Varrio Crazy Cats right there, representing their neighborhood and definitely putting their Varrio up on the map right there. All right, now right here you have the Barrio Linwood Osgood block neighborhood. Now, Osgood block neighborhood is one of the newest neighborhoods out of Linwood. At least that's what I was told. I was told that it used to be a crew before that became a neighborhood. I have a few homies out of Osgood block. Shout out to the homie Curly. That's a witty homie. I know he's down for his shit. But yeah, the neighborhood Osgood block was established. I heard since the 90s, and then became a neighborhood like in the early 2000s. Osgood block is located right there on Osgood Avenue, so where it's San Jose Avenue, you know what I mean? So it's in the middle of San Jose Avenue and Osgood Avenue is their neighborhood. It's roughly a small small territory, but nonetheless, homie, they be doing their thing, homie. I know that this neighborhood definitely has its writers because, like I said, I know some of these guys, and they be representing, homie. They keep it active. You hear the activity from these guys. You can't even say you don't. On the Osgood block, homie, they keep it active, homie. These guys ain't no chumps, dog. They're not the ones to be messed with. They be representing right there and putting their barrio up on the map. You know what I mean? Going at it with the surrounding sets and representing theirs, homie. These guys ain't no pushovers, dog. I know a few neighborhoods did try to like convince them or get them to get into their sets, but they stood their ground and stood their own. You know what I mean? And you know, representing for their barrio right there and definitely putting their barrio up on the map. But that's what's up with the Osgood block right there.